Well,
amended agenda.
no, this is the correct one.
Oh, that's the correct one?
This,
Not
yeah.
the one you put on there.
No, because they already posted that new agenda. Okay, all right, you ready? Okay. I will now call this meeting to order, October 5th, 2021 at 6:32, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And roll call, please.
Mayor Mahoney.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ott.
Here,
Trustee Kimberly. Trustee Jeffrey.
Here.
Trustee Westcott.
Here.
Trustee White.
Here.
Trustee Cohen.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, and do we have a motion or approval of the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
Trustee Ott.
Yes,
Trustee White.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey.
Yes.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Thank you.
And motion carries. Did we have any public comments? No public here.
We did
so I'm
have,
assuming
we did
so.
not have
Nothing
any.
online, all right. And then we'll move on to the consent agenda. On tonight's consent agenda is the payment approval report in the amount of $151,530.97, as well as the September 21st, 2021 minutes. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Jeffrey.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Ott.
Aye.
Thank you.
And motion carries. Always the rebel, huh, Beth?
That's right.
Next item is the 2022 draft budget. Your floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Although the entire budget is included in the packet for your review, we did put together some slides to walk you through and hit the highlights. So we'll just pull those up here.
Thank you for saying there were only highlights, no lowlights.
Only highlights, sir. And the good news is, right at the front end, you saw a draft budget, an earlier version of the draft budget at the budget workshop on August 31st. The numbers have changed very little since then, so we'll spend a little bit of time tonight zeroing in on what's changed between then and now. We begin with the board is at the top of the organizational chart and has the responsibility of adopting the budget. As I've said previously, this is one of the most important things you do all year, if not the most important thing you do all year. With everything we do, I think it's important to start with a high-level vision statement. We're here for a purpose. Everything we do has a purpose. This budget document was prepared to help achieve this purpose. Along with this very broad vision statement, we also put together on your behalf a number of what I would call unifying goals. These are long-term, big picture goals that the board has, and these were developed from the specific objectives that the board developed back in July. Those were an indication of what's most important to you, and so we took the liberty of assembling these goals, and these are good guiding statements for us as staff to make sure everything we do is in alignment with these big picture goals that the board has for the town. The specific objectives that the board identified back in July are listed here. That was a great work session. The board gave us terrific direction. Within the draft budget are resources to help us make progress on each of these objectives next year. That's really important. Again, the budget is a tool for getting important work done, and these are key objectives that were important to the board. That the budget will help provide us resources to accomplish work on all of these objectives next year. In terms of the budget document itself, we began with a number of base assumptions. These are the same assumptions that we shared with the board back on August 31st. So along with the unifying goals, you break those down into the board objectives, key initiatives for next year. These were base assumptions, information that help shape the budget document as well. And this budget document takes all of this information into account. Certainly maintaining levels of service. Where we can, we'll want to improve levels of service, but we want to make sure we at least maintain. The goal of the budget and of our administrative work plan next year is to make sure that we maintain current levels of service that the town provides to the community. This is a balanced budget. We do conservatively project that sales tax revenue will be flat. We actually believe, because of the most recent assessments, that property tax revenue may go down a little bit. We expect residential home building to increase next year. That has an impact on the service demand side, but also will affect the town's revenue. We are providing for some additional contracted services next year, in part to accomplish some of the objectives that the board laid out. One of those objectives was increasing community engagement. That was a top priority of the board that you identified back in July. You've also asked us to advance effort on this idea of the rec center, community center, library concept next year. So we have resources in the budget for that purpose. And also, because of the goals and objectives that the board has, you've asked us to look at ways of potentially increasing revenue to accomplish those important objectives. Related to that information, there are key requests that the board had and that staff had that are included in the budget. I won't review this whole list now. These are all important objectives of either staff or the board next year, and we've included resources in the budget to help us accomplish those things. You'll see the dollar amounts there. I don't think we changed this from the 31st except for the last item on the list. That was an idea that came up from the board discussion last time. When we presented the revenue and expenses on the 31st, there was a little bit of revenue left over. The board suggested using that revenue to focus on sidewalk connections, fixing sidewalks, but filling in gaps too. So that's a new item from what you saw back on August 31st. The next slides, we've updated the numbers. Denise is constantly, and let me pause right here and say Denise just did a fantastic job helping us through the budget process. For me, going through it the first time, this is only the second time Denise has gone through it. To me, it's gone pretty darn smooth, but Denise is constantly looking at the numbers and making sure that when we present information to you, it's the best information that we have. So similar pie chart, updated some of the numbers based on the latest information that we have, and we'll keep updating this information between now and when the budget's adopted at presumably the December 7th meeting. So these two numbers, revenue and expenses, changed a little bit. We're still showing a balanced budget, of course. We've broken it down a little bit further by department. So these numbers have changed a little bit from what you saw back in late August. Same thing on the expense side. These are the specific things that changed from what you saw on August 31st. Our beginning fund balance went up a bit. We did project a little bit of additional revenue. We also projected some additional expenses, mostly that $200,000 that the board said dedicate that towards sidewalk connections. We're also showing a a slight increase in the ending fund balance from what you saw back in August. And last time, when we did the revenue and expenses, revenue exceeded revenue by 240-some thousand because of the way we've reallocated that money for sidewalk connections. We're now showing a balanced budget with just a little bit of excess revenue. Again, based on conservative estimates of revenue, but the budget provides all the resources we think we'll need to provide services next year and accomplish the objectives that the board laid out. It is important that the town adopt the budget by at least December 15th. So our plan is to have the budget before you for approval on December 7th. That's a key date. That's our last meeting of 2021. We will have the budget back before you on November 16th, if needed. So the meetings between now and the end of the year, tonight, October 19th, November 16th, and December 7th. So after tonight, there's only 3 meetings left in 2021. So this is an important listing of dates, but we're on track for that. So after the meeting tonight, we'll know whether we need that November 16th work session. Certainly, if you have questions, want to chat about anything in the meantime, you can always call. We can always talk through specific questions you have. Can sit down with Denise if you'd like to walk through information in greater detail, but that's always available to you. We did list, again, key objectives by department. I won't go through those tonight. Happy to answer questions about them if you'd like us to. But again, important for us to stay organized at the staff level, make sure our work is in alignment with the key priorities that the board has laid out, while also addressing operational needs that we have and work we know we need to do out in the town. So again, this is not changed from August 31st, just listing it here because it's good additional foundational information that explains why the budget was constructed the way it was. Likewise, we've updated the reserve balances a little bit, particularly the projected fund balance at the end of next year. And that brings us to any questions, comments, or discussion board members have.
Leave it open. Anyone have any questions or comments on the budget for any of the, I can't see.
I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're out there in the ether somewhere, so.
And as a reminder, this is not your last opportunity. It's just the current opportunity to weigh in on the budget. You'll have an opportunity. We can, if need be, we can put it on the November 16th agenda. If we don't hear a need for that, the next time you would see it then would be December 7th to adopt the budget.
Well, and not only that, anytime between now and then, you still have the opportunity to contact staff if you have specific
Absolutely.
questions.
Happy to talk with you further, answer questions, provide additional detail. And if you see something that doesn't look quite right, give one of us a call and we'll be happy to take a look at it and talk through it with you.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that later. The mayor's salary is missing a 0. That's just.
Only one?
I think in my case, you'd probably take a 0 off of it. Anyway, no further questions or comments. We'll move on to the next item. Did any other staff members have anything? Did you want to make a?
A recommended action for you all to take to publish the notice of the budget as in the form that was presented tonight, because we do have to publish one on October the 15th. So the motion is in there, a recommended motion for somebody to read.
Go ahead.
I move to publish the proposed 2022 budget in its current form on October 15th, 2021.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Ott.
Aye.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey.
Yes.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and motion carries. Thank you. Okay, now the next item is the community event. Mr. Johns.
Good evening, Board. I prepared just a quick kind of update from the Community Appreciation Day. As far as some bullet points of what went well, what went poorly, maybe some things that we could do to improve the event from last year, and kind of got that information out in front of you, as well as the second page is just kind of a budget overview from the event. So really at that point, I kind of was open for questions, comments, anything that staff can kind of take into next year. I did want to at least mention that September 17th is the kind of the projected event date for next year, just so that we can start the planning for it. A lot of the banners that we got said the third Saturday of September, so that we didn't have to reprint banners. We could actually have those, so we can get those out sooner for next year. So that is one thing that is on the agenda.
Any questions or comments? No? I just, yeah, well, and you're not even, you got through all the hard stuff and now you're not even gonna be here to do it again, so I'm just saying. Now we gotta retrain somebody else, what the heck? But, no, it went really well. I heard a lot of good feedback. About the only complaint I had seen and or received was there were people who said they didn't know what was going on until the fireworks were going off. So, yeah, I think the signage was, and you've addressed that. So, but thank you again. You did a great job. That was your first event you've done like that, was it?
No,
No?
not really.
Oh, okay.
I've done some more events at other places, but yeah, that one was, I think, was an excellent turnout as far as the number of people that showed up. So.
All right. Well, thank you. Okay. Next item is mayor and trustee comments. Let's see. All right, trustee Ott.
I mentioned that town administrator earlier that the road's coming apart pretty badly at County Road 4 up by the new fracking operation by the meat plant. Just at town limits, the south side of County Road 4 is really coming apart up there. And we need to put some, I feel we need to put some safety signs out to keep somebody from dropping a wheel off there. They'll take out a wheel, tire or something up there. That's all I have. I think the community event went very good, Mr. Johns. Thank you very much. Everything seemed, I heard no negative comments, and everybody we talked to running with the vendors were very happy with what they did and the way it turned out too. So thanks again.
Okay. Trustee White.
No comments, thank you.
Trustee Jeffrey.
I don't have anything tonight either. Thanks.
Trustee Westcott.
I just wanted to publicly thank Mark Johns for the good work that he's done for the town, and to express my real sorrow that he's leaving, but that I wish him the best.
I'm sorry. I don't think I even heard. Did anybody actually hear? I couldn't hear.
Trustee Westcott said thank you to Mark Johns for all the work he's done while he's been here, and she wishes him the best. I echo that too.
All right. Trustee Cohen.
Just to express my agreement with Trustee Westcott's comments, and also an extra thank you to staff for putting together the budget and the nice job that you've done with that. Thank you.
And I don't have much to say other than Town Attorney Maureen Duran received Trustee Kumerly's resignation this evening. So we will be looking for a new trustee. So if you know people, get them in here.
Well,
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanting to check, so as you know, because we've just been through this, under state statute, we have 60 days to either appoint or call for an election, and if we don't do anything, we're going to have to hold a special election, and those are costly. And so I guess we just want to get some feedback from the board as to what it is you want staff to do to assist in identifying a potential appointee, assuming that you want to go the appointment route and not the election route.
Go ahead, trustee Al.
First thing I'd like to do is get the two people that were interested in being trustees the last time back in here, because I think everybody was very well qualified. And then we can put out for anybody else that's interested, but I definitely would like to see if those two are interested in taking this position.
Would you like to do that before you put out to see if there's anybody else? In other words, give them first cut at it?
I would, but that's up to the board. If that's okay with everybody else, that's fine with me. If they're interested, bring it on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I wish Mr. Kimmerly had, acted a little bit sooner. We could have gotten the information to them a little bit quicker and gotten them in here quicker. But definitely, I think those two, if we have their contact information,
We do.
give them a heads up, give them the opportunity first.
Would you like us to, so I can reach out to them both? And should I ask them to attend in 2 weeks? It would certainly
Yes.
shorten the vacancy process.
Yes,
If one or
yes.
both are interested and you have a chance to visit with them in 2 weeks and perhaps make a decision.
Definitely.
At the next meeting, for sure.
We will contact them tomorrow.
If I may, on that same note, I think it's important for us to remember that trustee Coomerly was our representative to DRCOG, and I'm the alternate, and I would almost prefer to continue to be the alternate. But if nobody else feels like they want to make that commitment, then as the alternate, I would step up. But there's meetings coming up and going on a regular basis with that group right now. So we don't want to spend much time not having someone there.
Excellent point. It's an important role, but it's not an easy role. It's those agendas can be rather involved, and there's a lot to understand and comprehend. How about if anybody has that interest, in addition to Trustee Jeffrey, maybe reach out to me and we can chat about that a little bit. We can also put it on the agenda for the 19th, so the board can take an action and fill that seat. Great point.
Go ahead, trustee
And
Al.
I would like to get on the agenda also to appoint someone to the Southeast Weld, because right now, we don't have a representative officially to the Southeast Weld Chamber of Commerce. So I think we ought to appoint one to that too.
Absolutely. We can add both of those to the agenda in 2 weeks.
All right. And with that,
I have
oh,
so in the next, is there information available about what's involved in those two? Or what are the responsibilities that we could maybe get our hands on in the next couple of weeks?
The Cliff Notes version is they generally have 2 meetings a month, although I have not attended a DRCOG meeting recently. Are they, Trustee Jeffrey, do you happen to know, are they only in person, or are they doing only virtual, or is it a hybrid option?
They have been virtual right now from everything that I've seen. I'm looking for an email on one right now and I don't
Well, that'll help.
find one.
That'll help quite a bit with the time commitment. Otherwise, they're downtown, and so I'll get updated information on the meeting dates. It's generally those 2 meetings a month. One is a study session, one is an action meeting. And I would say they spend a majority of their time discussing transportation funding. It's not their only role, but that's, I would argue, the most important role that they perform.
Their next meeting's Wednesday, October 20th, starting at 6:30 PM, and it's virtual.
okay. All right. With that, we will move on to executive session. Do I have a motion?
I move that we go into executive session pursuant to CRS 24-6-402, parens 4, parens B, with town council for legal advice on due process considerations and to answer legal questions on process related to removal of appointed officers.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Jeffrey,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Trustee Ott,
Yes.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Thank you.
And motion carries. And we will take a few minutes to move to the other room. The time is now, I don't even know what the time is. 6:57.
Trustee Westcott, would you like me to just call you on your cell and put you on speaker for that?
That'd be totally fine. Thank you.
I think I have it. Don't hang up. Oh, we have it. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
There's some cookies and cake back there.
Time is now 7:18 PM and the executive session has been concluded. For the record, if any person who participated believes that any substantial discussion of any matters not included in the motion to go into executive session occurred, or that any improper action occurred during the executive session in violation of the open meetings law, I ask that you state your concerns for the record. And seeing none, I now look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we are adjourned at 7:18.